Hi, I'm Gloria Gilbert. I'm the founder of Sustainable Westford, and we're here today with Kristina Greene, who is the founder of Upcycle. And we wanted to talk about our many programs, about Sustainable Westford's programs, because we are running 6 programs that many people don't realize we do. Our first program, most people are familiar with, is the Westford Farmers Market. And that was started 6 years ago. We're going on our 7th year. And most people are familiar with the Town Common. It takes place every Tuesday for 20 weeks, starting in June 18th this year. And it runs all the way through the end of October. Our second program is Upcycle. And Kristina, do you want to just talk a little bit about Upcycle for
Sure. So I don't know how many people know about Upcycle It, but we collect things that are traditionally not recyclable at the curb. Things like chip bags, pens, markers, energy bar wrappers, and I actually brought some examples. So like a chip bag that you would get at Market Basket or wherever.
So you're saying you guys collect this, chip bags, and what do you do with these?
We send them to a company called TerraCycle, and they turn them into, one of the other things we also collect are, these great little juice pouches that kids drink, the foil ones. We collect these also, and we send all of the stuff to TerraCycle, and they create new products out of it. So like here is a little lunch cooler bag that is made out of those drink pouches. So instead of throwing them into a landfill or an incinerator, they get made into something new. For each item that Sustainable Westford sends in, we get 2 cents. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but in not quite 3 years, we have made over $8,000 in 2-cent increments. So it really adds up.
That's a lot of
it's
items
that
you collect.
We have a listing of all the different items we take. Like I said, chip bags. It doesn't have to be the large size. It can be any size bag. You have to think anything down that chip aisle of the grocery store we can take, and that's considered a chip bag. Any sort of candy wrapper, whether it's a big one like this or little individual size wrappers like this. Again, candy aisle of the grocery store. Think that. It's not just anything of this kind of material. It's got to be specific types of wrappers.
I just realized I wanted to bring us up to date on the history, just go over a little bit of the history of the farmers market. I think it's kind of interesting, 6 years ago when we first started the market, or the concept of just the farmers market. So can we go to the first slide, and we're just going to back up a little bit, if that's okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Can we have the first slide? Oh, okay. This is our membership drive, and it talks about, right now, this is last year's membership brochure. It talks about our 5 programs, and on the right-hand side, it talks about the Westford Farmers Market, Upcycle It, there's Healthy Kids Coalition, and Westford Academy Mentor Program, Workshops and Films, which is our winter series, and our newest program is the Solar Challenge. But as far as the history goes, going on 7 years, we came up with the idea of running the farmers market and biking up to the Town Common, in enjoying the community, sunshine, and getting a healthy cookie. And we created a lot of wooden easels that you occasionally see around town. And here's just a lot of friends that contributed to this effort. So we painted the first 6, came up with the logo, and here's some old history there. This is probably one of the first years of the market. It was a great success, as we all know. And we can see the next shot. This is probably 4 years ago. As you can see, the bandstand is not quite there yet. This whole concept of the bandstand came about because there was no place for the entertainment, for the music at the farmers market. And someone came up with a great idea to resurrect the old historic bandstand. And I think they raised a lot of dollars, private donations, and finally, after many, many donations, there was a nice celebration, and they cut the ribbon, and the bandstand was created. I think this young lady, Mrs. Hardy, was very instrumental in getting this project done. And there she is. And I think she's probably giving credit to all of the other kids that were involved in creating the bandstand. That's the workforce, all volunteer again. Okay. Another celebration for the historic bandstand. Okay. This is one summer, this was the entertainment. It was the summer theater, the Westford Academy Summer Theater Group. They always come during midsummer, and they get, you know, whatever, 20, 30, 40 kids to come and sing for the community. And it's just a wonderful.
It's really nice.
It's
nice
fun.
to watch.
It's one of the best days because there are so many people there, and it's just such a great community gathering. It's nice. More volunteers, all connected. There's, I think, Bill Harmon.
Looks like him in the back.
Yeah, he's still with us. You know, 6 years later, Bill is still coordinating our music for the farmers market.
Is he just under a tent then before the bandstand? At that
point, we only had a little tent. And here we have another community group of musicians just having a great time, enjoying themselves, entertaining us. That's fun. And of course, the farmers market is always looking for more entertainment. Here is our hula hooper, and everyone just shaking their hips and trying to get that hula hoop to stay up. Yeah, that's fun.
Have you tried it, Gloria?
I'm actually pretty good at it. I used to be. How about you?
I have not tried it yet.
No? Oh,
no.
You shy?
A little bit. A little bit.
And here we have a gymnastics. I think that was last year, 2012. We had the Olympics, actually. And our market manager was doing some gymnastics with the free children's programming. We are always looking for creative ideas to get the kids to come out and play with the community. So that was a fun week. And of course, we always have the Westford Academy mentor program, our kids in red t-shirts. They always hand paint their own little t-shirts. And here they are doing free face painting for the kids. They love doing that. We always do special events a lot throughout the market. I think, Kristina, you came to the Halloween Dance Jam, maybe not this year, but I believe you joined the conga line in a striped outfit. Can you tell us about that?
I was a prisoner.
I remember the stripes.
Yeah, my prison costume.
And that's, this year, we'll do the Halloween Dance Jam. I believe it might be October 30th. We'll have to check the calendar. But we like to close our farmers market with the Halloween Dance Jam, and this is just a lot of fun. Here you actually see we have the mascots from Stony Brook and Blanchard and the Abbott School. And
that mess, it looks like with the Dalmatian. Is that the Dalmatian?
That's the Dalmatian, yeah. And then there's the one from Stony Brook. What's the mascot's name?
I don't remember.
Okay. Okay, and then here we go. One of our first years, the Westford Academy kids started getting involved running the market, and they were having fun with promoting the farmers market. And this is one of the market managers years ago at the Westford Academy Bazaar promoting our winter series film screening. That year was King Corn. And they just have a great time. They become such good friends, and it's nice to see. And it's evolved, I think, to the point, 6 years later, this is last year's group photo with Senator Donahue and town manager, Jody Ross, and our crew. That was a fun time. Okay. Oh, and we do owe much gratitude to our Westford Academy team. The kids, they volunteer day in and day out for 20 weeks for 4 hours at a stretch, if not 6 hours sometimes. It's a lot of volunteer hours, and we owe a great deal to them. So we celebrate them with a nice dinner on the common, so to speak. And this is a fun group photo of the kids. Here we go. Kristina, this is your baby.
Yeah. So this pile of rescued 5-gallon pails from, I think, the water department and the school department. There were, what, 4 or 5 of us in my dining room decorating these things. We decorated about 80 of these buckets to put into 4 of the elementary schools. So actually all of the elementary schools has a bucket like this in their classroom, so that when the kids have snacks, they can put their chip bag or granola bar wrapper or anything that could be upcycled, they can put into that bucket.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're in every single school, correct?
We are in every school now. So the middle schools and the academy. And these are some of the items that we accept. Like I said, the foil drink pouches, any sort of Elmer's glue container, the chip bags, and again, think grocery aisle. Energy bar wrappers, which includes the cereal bar wrappers, granola bar, any of those kinds of wrappers.
So what you're really telling people is any kind of pen that you're going to throw in the garbage,
Yes.
just put them in a little bag, and any toothpaste.
Toothpaste tubes or toothbrushes, that's what the oral care is.
And you're saying collect your old stuff, put them in a little box, and then what do you do with those things?
You can bring them, if your child's school, many of the schools will accept them from parents, usually in the lobby. You can look for larger buckets there, or go to the library, Road and Bush, the farmers market, and also Starbucks. In fact, the previous picture was the old buckets that we had at Starbucks. Starbucks now has a nice wooden bin.
So I guess the big question is, why would anyone do this?
The biggest reason is that none of these things can be recycled at your curb. They get tossed in the trash. That's your only option. But instead of tossing these things in the trash, we can send them back to TerraCycle. They can upcycle them or create new products out of them rather than going, most of these products basically are plastic. But recyclers, traditional recyclers, cannot take them because they can't accept sort of film type things like this, like we would consider. Their machinery just doesn't handle it. But TerraCycle has figured out a way to process these things and make them into new items so that we don't have to deplete our resources. I mean, plastics come from oil, so we're using oil to create new plastics. So you don't have to do that. The other thing is it definitely opened my eyes to how much packaging there is, like how much everything you buy is packaged. And just, it's a lot of waste.
Well, isn't there, this is a great clip. This is, you wonder who handles each chip bag, each pen, and certainly all of these items actually go through Kristina's garage. But before they get to her garage, we have, how many volunteers do you think help you do this?
I have quite a few volunteers that go around to the schools and pick up and collect, bring them to my garage. A lot of the, this is one day's collection at a farmer's market a couple of years ago. That whole barrel is filled plus all of those bags.
So if you see any of these barrels, any of these, it's these barrels, just bring your your chip bags, and don't be embarrassed. You're actually doing it for a really good cause, and just come to the farmer's market and hand them over to the Westford Academy kids, or put them in the barrel that is not a trash barrel.
Yeah, it's not a trash
barrel. It's an upcycle barrel. I know that you spend a lot of time sorting trash from your upcycle thing, which is
Yeah,
Gotta be tough.
we have to go through. So myself and the volunteers have to go through everything that we collect from people, and we have to separate it into, you know, chip bags in one thing, the energy bar wrappers. All of those 7 different categories have to get sorted. And so it's really helpful if people can go to our website or just, you know, email us and find out what exactly is and isn't acceptable, and just take notice of what you're throwing your empty coffee cup into, if it really is a trash barrel or if it's an upcycled barrel. Just take a quick look.
I guess trying to clean off the coffee grinds.
Yeah,
can be
it gets
somewhat daunting.
It gets a little messy.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, don't be shy. Just bring the chip bags and pens and toothpaste tubes and toothpaste
tubes. Yeah, and you know, you're not alone. There's lots of people that do it. So
yeah, I mean, you've raised over $8,000. So one of the reasons that this program is so good and you should participate is.
Yeah, we get that money. That money goes back to the Westford schools in the form of little mini green grants. So any teacher or school group, anyone who's associated with any of the 9 Westford schools can apply for one of these grants.
Can you just expound on maybe 1 or 2 of the grants that you've already led?
So the grants have to be for some sort of environmental project. And actually, Nabnasset School, I believe it was 2 years ago, was able to plant some trees on their playground, which is completely open. You know, there's no shade at all. So it was nice that they could plant some trees. Another teacher, a 3rd grade teacher at Abbott School, did a project with recycling and upcycling with her 3rd graders. And she worked into her curriculum. So these kids not only were learning about recycling and upcycling, but they worked it into their math curriculum, their technology curriculum. So they used all of these skills that they had to learn anyway, and were learning about recycling at the same time. They put together little public service announcements for their classmates to figure out, to educate them on what was and wasn't recyclable or upcyclable. And they put together surveys. They collected statistics on what was being thrown into the trash that shouldn't have been, or what was being thrown into the recycling bin that shouldn't have been.
And didn't you award a Boy Scout some money for some energy efficiency things that he was doing?
Yes, Aziz Rangwala did he did quite a bit of work at the day school. He brought in several energy experts. They did an entire energy audit of the entire day school and figured out where they could save money. Some things were like putting in automatic light switches in closets so lights wouldn't get left on, or I forget, I think it was a lot of like air sealing and stuff like that, so that the school wouldn't be wasting energy heating the school. And we were able to award him some money to put towards those improvements at the day school.
And you've also had a couple of grants, I recall, a garden over at Stony Brook and some other composting.
Yeah, there's composting going on now at the Blanchard School. And we were able to fund them, so it'll be interesting to see what happens this spring with their composting.
Yeah, so we look forward to inspiring other children and their advisors and spurring on the green movement. So on those 2 notes, just being green and raising money for these projects is a great reason why you should contribute to the Upcycle program. So save your chip bags and bring them to the market. This is great. And okay, and another program, I guess our maybe 3rd, 4th program, is Healthy Kids Coalition. And with the Healthy Kids Coalition, we're working with public schools and to inspire activities with the families and healthy eating. One of our programs we kicked off this past fall was the Chef Moves to School program in partnership with the Westford Public School Food Service. And we had our chef, Vic, who is a farmers market vendor, and he goes under the name of Pasta Fior d'Italia, and he has homemade raviolis and pastas and sauces, and mozzarella and stuffed mozzarella. And he went into both of the schools, Stony Brook and Blanchard schools, and he taught the kids how to proper nutrition and inspired them to learn how to cook and provide better food for themselves instead of just Burger King and opening up a already made bag of food and microwaving it. So that was really a great program. Our winter series is basically presentations, workshops, and film screenings that either educate and inspire people on issues of sustainability. We've had 4 film series, and one is coming up on March 15th, and it's called Tapped, and it's about bottled water industry. There's so many reasons why you should be informed about the effects of bottled water from environmental, all kinds of environmental issues. We actually have just changed our speakers on this series. We are actually going to be, Helen Fu will be sitting on the panel. She's a Chinese herbalist and nutritionist on her way to being a naturopath. So she knows a lot about good health, and also we have another presenter for Q&A for Tapped. Her name eludes me right now, but she is with the Concord on Tap group.
And they were instrumental in banning bottled water from Concord, right?
Yes, I believe they're probably the only town in the
I think in the country
who has outlawed the sale of bottled water. So she'll be present just to inform us on some of the do's and don'ts and whatnot. We also have for the winter series March 16th the organic lawn care presentation. Chip Osborne is nationally known for his sustainable approach, and this is free and open to the public. We are asking people to register online so we know what to expect in terms of how many people are there. The Town Board of Health and Town Engineer Paul Starrett and Water Department will also be on hand for Q&A. It's actually going to go to 12 o'clock. We had to change things up because it's a big program. So this goes all the way to 12 o'clock. So that one is free. Just please register online for that. What else do we have? Okay. We have another one. I think this is our last in the winter series. It's a workshop and tasting. And again, it is with our chef, Vic Torito from Fior d'Italia. And he's going to be teaching both parents and teens are welcome to join us. And it's going to, I think he's going to do 5 different sauces. And there's a tasting. So there's going to be his pastas and raviolis. So that's really fun. Beyond that, the winter series, our last newest program is the Solar Challenge. And do we have a clip on that? I don't know. Anyway, just...
Yeah, so I watched the last program, and the one thing that I thought was really interesting is that with this program, those huge prices of solar panels, that's not the case with this program, is it? You're not talking $30,000, $40,000 to put solar panels on your house with this.
Well, you know what the amazing thing is? It almost costs you nothing. Okay, the system in itself really has a value of furnishing and installation of it could be $30,000 to $40,000. It does have a retail price, but in the reality is because there are so many federal and state incentives, rebates, and things called SRECs, and there is a certain percentage that you take off your federal income tax also. It can cost you nothing. You can pay off your system within 7 to 8 years. There's many different ways of financing this. So, you know, it's pretty detailed. The experts are are going to be hosting many workshops, particularly this March. There are dates available on this flyer of, they're all throughout March. March 2nd, 6th, 16th, 23rd, and the 28th. They're all going to be available. Next Step Living is partnering with Sustainable Westford. The most really neat thing about this program also that seems to be missed is if you qualify and you sit down for a free solar consult to find out is my house okay to go solar. You get a $50 gift certificate to spend at the Westford Farmers Market. I think that's amazing.
That's nice.
And our benefit, if you actually do put a solar panel on your roof, Sustainable Westford actually gets $250 donated if you do that.
So I mean, it's really a win-win. It doesn't cost you anything.
No.
You know, sign up for even the free energy audit is fantastic. I've had them done at my house twice.
It's amazing. So it's just a win-win-win situation. You go green, you help us, you help yourself, save a ton of money. Lastly, I think, I think our organization is so amazing because we do so much and we affect so many people, from the small little kids at the elementary school collecting Upcycle, Healthy Kids Coalition in the Blanchard and Stony Brook with the Chef Move to School program, the Westford Academy kids that help run the market, and the community at large who benefits from the Farmers Market in the winter series. We do this basically on a dime. We need your support. We need more volunteers because we are growing rapidly and we love doing this. So if you want to help us, please enlist and call us, write to us, whatever, and volunteer or come to our programs.
Yeah, come to the films, the workshops.
And that's about it. I think we're going to have another program next month, and we're either going to be talking about Healthy Kids Coalition and or the Upcycle program.
A little more detail.
Okay. Thanks very much for tuning in.